My name is Lucasin. I'm the chef of Jun's Kitchen here in New York and in New Haven, Connecticut. We're going to talk about carbon steel today. I've been cooking for a lot of years, and time after time, I find myself relying on carbon steel pans. The carbon steel pan for me is the workhorse. I do almost everything in there. I deep fry, I stir fry, I sear, I steam, I boil in that pan. The two main benefits for carbon steel for me are even heating and quick maneuverability. It sits right between where stainless steel and cast iron is. It has stainless steel's maneuverability. It heats up way more quickly than cast iron, but it can retain heat like cast iron. It differs from cast iron because it's thinner. You're able to control the temperature of your pan with carbon steel much better than cast iron. And as a professional Chinese chef, it's about translating high heat cooking in a Chinese kitchen that woks are so wonderful for into the home kitchen. Because I mostly make Chinese food and so much of Chinese cooking is stir fries at high heats, I tend to cook at a very, very high heat with the carbon steel pans. However, you can absolutely be cooking at low temperatures too. Simmers, braises, those things do very well in carbon steel. Carbon steel pans are also really pretty popular in European professional kitchens, and you'll see those as the primary workhorse pan instead of stainless steel. Carbon steel is the perfect, serious home cook's piece of cookware. It provides you so much more control that you can really take your cooking to the next level. If you love cast iron, you're going to love this. You stop things from sticking in pans by having oil in between the food and the metal itself. That oil basically acts as little tiny rollers so that your food can skid across a metal surface. Seasoning is the necessary step of making carbon steel pans more non-stick, giving it that non-stick property, but also preventing it from rusting. So the thing with seasoning is that everybody thinks it's so complicated and that it's a labor of love, and all of those things are true in part, but the main thing is you're allowed to make mistakes, and I think the imperfection of that seasoning is a huge part of the process. There's no set answer for how many times you have to season the pan before it's ready to cook, but usually you're going to start at about 2 to 3 layers, 2 to 3 times of seasoning before you get in there. For eggs and fish, you might take a couple more tries. The seasoning process develops over time. If you cook naturally fattier foods like red meat or bacon, that process will be sped up more than if you're just cooking vegetables. If you think your pan looks ugly or has splotches on it, seriously, don't worry. Carbon steel takes on a variety of colors and patterns when it's seasoned and cooked with. As you continue to cook, those colors are going to change and start to even out. This is the new pan, seasoned for the first time. It's a nice dark color. It's so even. I did an incredible job. Mom and Dad would be proud. But here's a pan that I've been using for 4 months now. And this is what it looks like after being re-seasoned, messed up, destroyed multiple times. My dad is one of those people who buys expensive pans and is nervous to scratch them up, and so he never uses them. However, with carbon steel pans, you can scratch them up, and those little indents will fill in as you continue to cook in it, as long as you continue to season it. If anything, that oil will catch onto those little grooves first, and it'll smooth back out over time. Seriously, basically, no way you can screw it up. As a professional chef, cooking mostly on gas, even at home, I like to cook at very high heat, so I like to turn the heat up for the pan all the way up and start doing quick stir fries. However, most of the time you want to start at low or start at medium-low and then turn it up as needed. The handle on the carbon steel pan does not heat up. The first thing to do is to let it cool down sort of naturally, and then scrape off all of the food that's stuck into the pan with a wooden or a rubber spatula. And then I use the soft side of the sponge to scrape as much of that off as possible. Absolutely no soap. If there is still food stuck on there, then you can add a little bit of water into your pan, bring it to a boil, scrape all of that stuff off, and then wipe it down dry with a towel. I like to always finish it with a thin coating of oil after it's cooled down, totally dried thoroughly, so that it doesn't rust. I know carbon steel will become one of your favorite pans as a home cook. It can be used with almost any dish, and it's pretty much indestructible. If you love your carbon steel, if you treat it with respect and you think about it and it thinks about you, then you can maintain it and you can watch it change over time.